One of the things that we're going to be building towards later is making our unit circles and re-looking at those values that you have to know without a calculator, like sine of 30 degrees and sine of 45 degrees, that you did memorize once in grade 11, but most likely have forgotten. So we'll look at those again. So we're going to do 2a after we've done that. So right now we're just going to do 2b, and it's a calculator question. Determine the value of cotangent of 12 pi over 5. So first of all, you go to your calculator and you look at it. You do not have a cotangent button. I'm going to make my calculator even bigger so that you can see it better. Let's check this out. There we go. There you can see the buttons better. So we have a sine button, a cos button, a tan button, but no cotangent button. And despite having the definition that you know that cotangent of theta is 1 over tangent of theta, this question in particular, lots of people make errors when they put it into their calculator. And I'll show you why you make an error when you put it into your calculator in a bit. First of all, if you think about the definition, in your definition has an angle, theta. That same angle, theta, is over here. And it looks like my screen is frozen. With that same, oh, there we go. There, same angle, theta and theta. That means if I want to find cotangent of 12 pi over 5, what I could type into my calculator is 1 over tan of 12 pi over 5. The angle doesn't change. So I go to my calculator, I go 1 divided by tan 5 pi over 12, enter, 0.0267. Was it 0.0267 or 0.267? 0.267. To the nearest hundredth, 0.27. So why is it that people make mistakes with this one? Well, earlier we were doing ratios. When we were doing ratios, I said stuff like, if tan of theta is 1 over 3, then cotangent theta is the reciprocal 3 over 1. So sometimes when we're talking about the value of tan theta, we're talking about the answer, then the answer for cotangent theta is the reciprocal. But when we're talking about the angles always stay the same. Here it's theta, here it's theta. Now in this question, our angle is 12 pi over 5. The number one mistake that students do in this question is they do 1 over tan and they write 5 over 12 pi. They take the angle and do the reciprocal. So it's important to see this here, because your brain's going to be tempted to do that, because we do the reciprocal probably more often. More often do we do this stuff at the top where you have tan of theta is 1/3. What's cotangent? It's 3 over 1. And not as often do we do work with the angle itself. So the angle always stays the same. And then that finds your value. Now when you go to do some of these questions, I know someone pointed it out. They pointed it out on a previous question. They said they got their answer. They got their answer to be 0.707, and they checked the answer in the back of the book, and the answer in the back of the book said √2 over 2. And they said, well, how come I'm getting it wrong? Well, you might not be getting it wrong. If the answer in the back of the book looks like this, you can go to your calculator and just do a quick check. What is the square root of 2 divided by 2? Oh, it is 0.707. So I got it right. despite the fact that my answer looked different. So if when you're doing, I'm not sure if it happens in this case again with 6 and 11, but if in the answer in the back of the book has a square root, and you wonder if you got it right, you can type that square root into the calculator and see if the decimals match. Later we'll see why, when we've done our unit circle, why they left their answers as square roots. But for right now, we're just trying to see if we know how to use our calculator correct. So questions 6 and 11.